thing? And do we really need to go to COVID again? Do we really need to go to taxes again? Like, where does the moderator have to hit here, Dr. Watkins?
I think obviously you need a strong moderator. I think that's important. You need a fair moderator. I don't know if we're getting fairness from the media, which is really disappointing to me.
Very disappointing to me.
Yeah, and I think overall, I personally don't think COVID is the greatest threat to this country. I think that we've made it into that. For example, China just released their economic numbers, and they're one of the first countries on earth to really recover from the COVID thing. And if you notice how they handled it, remember, they got hit first. They were ground zero. And then they just kind of said, you know what, we're going to handle it, but that's not going to be the thing that we're going to use. We're not going to keep 1.2 billion people living in fear, not able to eat while we solve the problem. We're just going to solve the problem and make sure our people eat. And that's worked. Elon Musk, Jeff Bezos, all the people that have done well during the pandemic are people who said, let's stay safe, but let's keep moving. And so in that area, that's where I agree with the Trump administration. I don't think that they were denying that COVID was there. I think the Democrats wanted COVID to just stop everything. I think they wanted to wreck the economy so they could say, look, it's his fault. That guy did it. When I don't think he did it. I think they did it. And so I think really I don't want to talk about COVID anymore. I think that if Trump shows that he can just be a leader that has some damn sense, because sometimes he doesn't. He acts like a crazy rapper sometimes. I think that turns a lot of people off. I think it definitely turns off intelligent people.
Yeah, I think China
absolutely. I want to go to Dr. Watkins on this. 50 Cent took to social media and wrote, "What the fuck? Vote for Trump. I'm out. Fuck New York. The Knicks never win anyway. I don't care. If Trump doesn't like black people, 62% of you out your fucking mind." I'm quoting 50 Cent there. I'm quoting.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna say 50's a stupid guy. He's smart enough to do what he does, but 50 Cent's not Ice Cube in the sense that I was impressed with what Ice Cube did. I wasn't impressed with what 50 did or what he had to say. Just because you're basically a rich New Yorker who's out for self, and I'm not a fan of that. I'm going to go ahead and confess that I'm one of those people that's above that number where the taxes are going to go up. And when I do the math and I look at what's happening to this country, our government has been hit with a level of debt and deficits that it will never recover from. And a lot of this started back in the Reagan era when Reagan used the sympathy he received from that assassination attempt to get this crazy tax legislation passed and shifted the culture in America to where we just believe greed is a wonderful thing. And the reason I think that even a selfish person should know the flaws of being greedy is that if you continue to allow the rich to hoard all the wealth in America, you are going to jack this country up in a way that you don't want. Eventually, people will have nothing to eat but the rich. And so to me, if you are a person that's in that tax bracket, if they say, look, we want you to pay an extra 2% or whatever, 5%, 1%, whatever, you're still going to be rich. Like, what is wrong with you? What is wrong? I don't understand the mentality of somebody. I made $10 million last year, but I'm mad because I got to pay an extra 2, 3, 4, 5% in taxes. That is insanity. And it's done.
I never quite understood that one myself, but
so in that regard, that's where I become. I'm a heavy critic of Biden. I'm not a fan of some of the BS I see out of that administration, but I think his tax plan is better for America. Even during the pandemic, when all this PPP money went out, all the rich people grabbed their share and the money did not trickle down to the people who needed it. Yeah. That's crazy to me. We keep doing that. Mind you, that is going to ruin this country.